everybody to Akipton and our webinars that we do here. Um, in case you are new to Akipton or joining us for the first time, I want to make sure you guys understand what we are and what we do before we get started. Akipton is a Native Community Development Finance Institution, otherwise known as a CDFI. We finance specifically in Native agriculture. We are a nationwide organization. However, we are located directly on the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe in Eagle Butte. That being said, we do have loan officers and program officers in a wide region. And so if you're not directly in South Dakota or Montana where I'm at, just know that you are a part of our organization as well, and feel free to reach out to us. I am Justine Kogel. I am a program officer here with Akipton, and I'm fortunate today that we have a few others from the organization on that are going to be helping me with the webinar today. And so I would like Dawn, who's another program officer, if you want to say hi, Dawn.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. I'm sorry that I can't help to the extent that I'd like to. I am just joining in to help where everything is needed, but thanks, Justine.
So Dawn is traveling at a conference today, and so she's joining us from the airport, and we're glad we've got her just for a little bit here today. We also have a really cool program that I think everybody should be aware of. We have an internship program, and this year we are fortunate enough to have 2 interns with us throughout the summer. They're going to be helping us in a variety of areas, but today is their first webinar, so I'm going to put them on the spot a little bit. But Elijah and Kinsey, if you want to take a chance and introduce yourself and explain what you're doing with the internship and where you're from, that'd be great. Elijah, you want to start?
Yeah, I'm Elijah. I'm from Eagle Butte, and I'm in the office today, and really excited to be helping these guys out.
We're excited to have you here, Elijah. Go ahead, Kinsey.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kinsey Peterson. I am a member of the Cheyenne River Sioux Tribe here, and I am a youth intern, and I'm very excited to learn everything that Akipton has to offer for all of the native agriculture.
So we are very excited to have them on board, working within our organization and learning with us and helping to teach us some of the newfangled technology and social media tips and tricks as well. So with that being said, our mission at Akipton is to transform native agriculture and food economies by delivering creative capital, leading paradigm changes, and enhancing producer prosperity across Indian country. Akipton is the Lakota word for working together in a cooperative effort and is reflective of our lending philosophy. For those of you who might not know a lot about our lending philosophy, we're going to talk about it just briefly, but if you do want to know more, please reach out. So CDFIs are like banks in the sense that they provide loans, but you can't deposit money with us. And we're different than banks because we get to provide technical assistance with our loans. In the form of business planning, goal planning, succession planning, financial literacy training, these webinars. And so that's really part of our organization is education. And while we have laws that we do have to follow, we are unregulated, which allows us to be flexible within our loan capacity. So we get to have a little bit more options and innovation in our capital that we're able to put out there. Since Akipton's inception in 2019, we are proud to say that we have reached 28 tribal nations. This slide here, we have 27 million in loan capital committed, but I do know that that has went up, and I think we are getting close to that 29 to 30 million in loan capital committed. Which is amazing. It's really an honor to get to say that we have put that much out into our Indian country producers. And we're at 399 loans. So that's 399, loans, whether it be a youth loan, a operating loan, down payment assistance loans. We've been able to put that all out into our communities. So as far as products and services that we offer, we have an abundance of different variety of loan products and services. Basically, we have anything from a youth loan down to operating loans. And then, of course, we have general loans for whether you need equipment, whether you need just assistance in establishing a banking relationship, that sort of thing. So along with that, like I said earlier, we get to do the education part. Because of our bylaws and policies, we do need to be using these funds to promote agriculture, production of agriculture. So we're not able to do like rodeo agriculture or agritourism at this point. We really focus on the production side of things. And we want you guys to know it's 100% great to come to us with an idea. If you have an idea and you think maybe it's a little off the wall and maybe you're not sure if it fits in, come to us, ask questions, and we will definitely help to get you to a final business plan and see what we can do to help. Our interest rates do vary. It just depends on the quarter. And currently we are at 1.7% for youth and 3.2% blended, as well as a 5% or 5.7% interest only payment. So if you look at that in the scheme of things right now, we're able to keep our interest rates lower than what a typical banking institute is doing right now. So keep that in mind as you're making your future plans. So we're going to dive into social media. And I think it's really important in this day and age, whether it be you're marketing your cattle, you're marketing horses, you're marketing maybe your training, you're marketing your beef, your garden. All of these things are part of our agricultural world. So let's talk just straight up marketing before we get into social media and how to use it. The term marketing encompasses a wide spectrum of activities. Sometimes when we think about marketing, our mind immediately goes to something that's in print, that's getting the word out on sale activities. And while that is true, there's a lot of things that go into marketing. So to put it simply, marketing is going to be the act of creating an environment where sales are possible. When you view marketing from that lens, you can see why it is such a critical part of your business. Understanding how to market your native agribusiness could make the difference between success and failure. When we create a business plan, marketing is a huge component of that. We need to talk about our products, the price point, who are our customers, where are they coming from, our competition, as well as an advertising plan. So while we talk about all of these things, we're going to mix in the social media aspect of it, because social media has become such a tool for agribusiness marketing. And I should have said this from the beginning, guys. If you have a question, please drop it in the chat, raise your hand, feel free to get a hold of us. We have the Q&A chat. Elijah and Kenzie are going to be monitoring those for us, but we really kind of want this as a little bit of an open conversation here. So for the folks that we have on here, I'm curious, what do you currently do to market your agribusiness? Does anybody want to share if you are currently marketing your agribusiness? Are we all quiet today? I kind of always giggle when folks are real quiet because my husband tells me all the time, like, Justine, you sometimes just need to take a break and let people breathe. So I'm going to talk a little bit about marketing social media from two different lenses. I'm going to talk about it from being a program officer, and then I'm going to talk about it from a personal aspect of also being a producer. Oh, I see. Look, perfect. Um, a lot of trends on social media, Samantha says. Perfect. Don's chiming in with a lot of folks I know use Instagram and Facebook. Those are two really big components of marketing right now. Absolutely. Reels, TikTok, YouTube Shorts. Michael says Facebook, Wix, word of mouth. Word of mouth is really big as well. For those of you who don't know, Wix is it's a website hosting domain, similar to Squarespace. The old one used to be, can't even remember, but it was a different one that we began with. But those are all opportunities for using marketing. So what we're going to do here is we're going to take a peek at Akiptan's marketing. Right here is our website. This is our opening page of the website, guys. So on this, we have different colors, different fonts, our logo, and everything is very specific. And I say it's very specific because it has been developed over several years on what we want to have our brand look like. Elijah just dropped our website into the chat box. So if you guys, feel free to click on that and explore this on your actual computer. There's a few things that we're really going to dive into when we talk about this. And I want you guys to be brainstorming. I want this to kind of be a little bit of a working webinar. Brainstorm what you guys like about, where you're currently at, if you have a logo or a website, and what maybe you would like to see changed. Your logo that you have should really tell people what you are. So like in our Akiptan logo here, we are a native organization. We focus on agriculture, both crops and livestock. And I feel like our logo really gets to the root of that. So we're going to talk a little bit about how to get there, how to create that brand. Think about brands that you're loyal to. Think about why you're loyal to those brands. Is it something that speaks to you? Is it that, like for me, I love Ariat shoes. My Ariat boots are my most comfortable. I like them for a work boot. I like them for a riding boot, and they last long for me. And their company aligns with my interests. There's other organizations or other, some people are Ford people, some people are Dodge people. They have their reasons, right? So how do you create your own brand? How do you grow your own brand so people are following that to make them continue to buy from you, to make them continue to follow you and learn about what you do? So on the slide, we have many people, especially those that work in the agricultural field, think of a brand as a marker logo. In a lot of ways, in the packaged beef world, we see people who brand with their actual brand that they put on cattle. So like for us, it would be KR Rockin'. That, we could use that as our brand for our beef if we chose to. Some think of it as a design style or your advertising. And what I really think of when we talk about a brand is, what are you trying to tell people? What do you want others to see about your company and about what they're going to experience being a part of your team, a part of your customer base? A brand is all of this. It is everything you say, do, how you say it, how you do it. It's the essence of your entire native agribusiness. A successful brand will tell one story. It's going to tell your story, and it creates an emotional connection with your audience. Building your brand will help you to create a loyal customer base that keeps coming back. And this is where we get into social media, you guys. The things that we see on social media, especially as we're, I'm just scanning through the chat here, trends like the point of view, day in the life of, come with us type of hooks. That's exactly, Samantha. And you talk about that and you're like, you're inviting people into your life. You're inviting people into your business to understand why you do what you do, why your product is superior, and why they should buy from you. And that's your brand. That's the exact reason why we talk about social media and how it is such a powerful tool that we have these days in our marketing areas. So if you guys want to drop in the chat some name brands or brands that you can think of that are encompassing into our agribusiness space, throw those in the chat because I'm always curious. Michael says, is there a way to send a picture of our brand? I do not know that for sure, Michael. I don't know. You know what? You can send it over to me. I'm going to type my email address in the deal or in the chat, and if you send it over to me, I'll grab it and then we can put it up so we can look at it if that works for you, Michael. So name some brands that you think of in an agribusiness space. We have some local ones that are really large in our area. Dawn is saying Morning Light Kombucha. Wyote Foods. I'm not sure I said that right, Dawn, but I'm trying. These are brands that we get to work with at Agribusiness, actually. You know, these are native companies that, oh, I got it right. Michael, can you send it via text and maybe I can try and pull it up. We have brands in our area that S Ranch Meats. We have Carbon County Meats. We have the Meat Market or the Meat Palace. So some of these, you know, we're seeing more and more of these brands that are popping up and coming to light. You know, think about Heinz 57, Heinz Ketchup, General Mills, Kellogg Cereal, John Deere. All of these are brands that we think of when we think of agriculture. They're stuff that we use day to day. They're things that help us on our farm and ranch. And they have our loyalty for one reason or another. Some people are John Deere people, some people are McCormick people, some people are New Holland people, and they have a reason why. So when we think about our own native agribusiness, we need to think about what our brand is and how we attract those folks to our brand and how we're going to help with that. Oh, Navajo Mike's hot sauce. I kind of want to try that now. Yep, Michael's got it. Dodge, Featherlight, Ebby, absolutely. So these are the brands that, you know, a lot of us in the livestock production are very acclimated to. If I click the right button, I can get to where we're going next. Oh, Don just said Cheyenne River Buffalo Corp. Yep, that is one that is up and rolling. If you're in the Ashland, Montana area, we have Warrior Meats and Warrior Grocery that's also very prominent in this area too. So let's talk about how to get where you're going with your marketing and your brand. It's very, very helpful to have a style guide sheet. This is going to include what you're going to use for fonts, what you'll use for your logo font, and usually a color palette that you want to stay within. That way, when your clients see these themed fonts and color palettes, they immediately can say, hey, I know where I've seen that before. That's Agribusiness color, you know, that's Agribusiness colors. Or I've seen that fonts before. That's Agribusiness. Or you know, that's Dodge. We know what the Dodge emblem looks like. We know what, you know, if we just see the words Dodge out there, you know what that means. So we have to be very, very specific when we talk about this. Oh, and Don just said our presentation here is all in our color palette. So when we talk about our color palette, you guys, I'm going to show you. This is our actual style sheet guide that we use here at our organization. There are specific fonts that we use at specific times. You can see those here. And now down below this color palette, I want to specifically tell you guys, because this is stuff that I'm just learning as well, that on our color palette, there are specific color types. Some of them are called the CMYK, like version of this color, and then there's the RGB version of this color. And so they're very specific as to what that color is. And when you are working with a designer, they are going to be the ones that say, hey, what are your CMYK colors? And sorry, I'm just checking my phone to see if I got Michael's, oh, not yet, Michael, I haven't got your text. But these are the actual colors that they will be able to use. And it seems sometimes, especially from a producer standpoint, you know, you look at that, you're like, well, maroon is maroon. And to an extent it is, but when you're working with a designer or you're sending your logo off to get printed on business cards or shirts, or your boxes that you're going to package things in, or labels, this is the information that you will need. Dawn says those codes can go into Google, Word, Excel, etc. Thanks, Don, for the input. Fly safe. And so it's really important to lay all of this out. And I never thought about it from a producer standpoint until we really started selling packaged beef. When we started selling packaged beef, I was like, oh, this is really something. Because as I sent over designs for, you know, what they put on our beef to say, you know, this is our brand, these are things that I was asked for. And so I want to make sure that, you know, as what do I want to say, as kind of a pain in the butt that these can be, it is really important to just sit down, put this into a style sheet, and then you have it. It's one of those things that you can use for videographers, anybody that is doing any marketing with you, whether you're able to secure an intern. You know, we can give this to Kinsey and Elijah and say, this is what we have established for our style guide. Whatever you're building, build it in this way. And they know exactly what to do to help us. So curious, and you guys can just answer yes or no in the chat, but do you currently have a style guide or even just a color palette that you use in your own marketing? You know, obviously I've shown you a keep tons, but like on our packaged beef portion of our lives, we use turquoise, maroon, and black. Those are our three colors that we use for all of our stuff. That's not to say that I don't deviate here and there, but for the most part, anything that's coming out of our beef production is going to be in those colors. And sometimes you have a reason for those colors, and sometimes it's just like, oh, I like them together, and that's the way we go. So I want to make sure that this is something you guys are thinking about and establishing, because once you establish it, it's easy to go back and say, hey, I have this established and this is what we're going to use. Previously in my life, I was kind of all over the board. Oh, I liked this font. Oh, I like that font. Oh, I did this. And I didn't have that consecutiveness. But I have noticed now that I have a consecutive style guide, it's a lot easier for people to recognize our product and recognize our logo. So I encourage you to do that. As far as places to do these things, places to create marketing, places to create social media posts, we have different resources. Different resources, and Elijah will throw those in the chat here in a minute. But Canva is something we use a lot. So canva.com has a free version, and it also has a monthly fee version. With the free version, you can do a whole lot of things. And so I would encourage you to explore that. It is super fun to work in. You can do all sorts of stuff, but explore that and see what it looks like. And yes, Samantha's right. If you have a nonprofit, you can use Canva Pro for free. So I don't know how many of you that do have a nonprofit of sorts, but if you do, you can sign up for Canva Pro. You send in a little bit of paperwork and you get the whole thing for free, which is pretty awesome. There's also adobe.com/express or /express. And I have to be honest, I've never dabbled in the Adobe version. They have a free version. There's also a paid version, but I do know that between those two, and what they have offering for free, you can get a whole lot of marketing and social media posts done. That being said, if you think that's over your head, I create a lot of things. I have an Apple computer, I have a MacBook, and so I just create a lot of things right in what would be our Word document, and I just overlay it and play with it until I get to where I want it to be. It's easier in Canva, but you can get it done without these other ones as well. So the next thing I want to talk about is, who is your audience? As you're developing a business plan, as you're developing a marketing plan, and how you're going to enter the social media world or expand in the social media world, you really need to understand your demographic data on your customers. Are your customers age 15 to 25? Are they ones that are on TikTok and that's where you're going to find them? Are you going to find them on Snapchat? Are they more my age, where they're going to be in that 25 to 45, 55, and we're on Facebook? We're on Instagram. So who is your target audience? Sometimes you think, you know who your target audience is, and then you realize, oh, if I actually look back at who's buying my things, maybe it's a little bit different. So it's good to step back and look at that data from time to time. Having an idea of your average age, the gender, race, income, and marital status of your customer is a very important first step into understanding the group that you're talking with or that you're trying to access. What do they like, and what has drawn them to your products? Is it your consecutive quality of your product? Is it that they love that you're a local native producer? Do they love the fact that that you raise livestock the way they want, or and hope to have their livestock raised? It's understanding that, and really taking that into account as we enter social media and the marketing of social media. If it's youth, if it's that younger age group, whether it be like that teen age group or early 20s, 6 seconds. That's all you have. You have 6 seconds to tell that particular audience who you are, what you're selling, and why they should buy it. 6 seconds is not a long time, but that's the attention span that you're working with if that is your age group. Now, you get to my age group, we'll take a little bit longer. We're like, oh yeah, I'll listen to a 30-second video. But we have to be cognizant of that as we create our marketing. So, in thinking about your customers that you currently have right now, what kinds of things do you think that they have in common? You can drop these in the chat if you would like, but I'm curious as to what you guys think that your customers have in common. Is it location? For me, I know that's a big thing. My customers all need to be within about 100-mile radius of my ranch because I don't ship beef. I think shipping beef, it can be very counterintuitive. I think you can make a lot of money doing it, but it's not something that I want to take the time to do right now. So my customers literally have a location that they need to be in so I can sell to them. Most customers, maybe at a garden or shop, they're going to be somebody who either is wanting to make salsa, maybe they're coming in to purchase a bulk of tomatoes and peppers and onions. How do we get them to our shop? So things that we can talk about for having things in common. Location is a big one. What's their need of this product? In agriculture, we talk about food. People need food. We need it to survive. We need it to thrive. And there's a great movement about local foods. So they need your product. And what social media channels are they using so you can get to them? So in thinking about that, we talk about telling our story. And for some, this is really hard, you guys. You're opening up your family, your business, your lives into a world of social media, into a world that's outside of our own little core. And sometimes that can be scary. And sometimes you're going to get feedback from that you don't care for. and that's part of it. But what we really want to focus on here is when you tell your story, that is your marketing message. The marketing message is the words you use, the feelings and emotions that are associated with what you say, and they offer that explanation as to why people should buy your goods or services. So here's 3 steps to having a successful marketing message. It speaks to the self-interest and motivation of the customer. 2, it's relatively brief. And 3, it's repeated over and over and over and over. So when we talk about that, what are some things that come to mind? What are some brands that come to mind when we're talking about a marketing message? The first one for me that I come to is not even agricultural related, but it's Nike. Just do it. Short, sweet, succinct. Nike, just do it. Other ones that come to mind for me, we have what's called Cow Boss Ranchwear. That's about 100 miles from us down in Lovell, Wyoming. And I love what they've done with this. They are a local company that has began to design Western wear that is, number 1, affordable, and number 2, hardy. So when I say that, it's meant to keep up with all the long days. Sending or can I? Yeah, yes, Michael, we will. Michael just asked, will we be sending or can you send an email of your presentation? Yes, we will. There'll be a follow-up email after this. And so their big sales point is they now have pockets built in your shirt that's deep enough for our larger cell phones that we have these days. Their pockets on the back are built in for having those cell phones. So that's Cow Boss Ranchwear. Another one in our area is the Billings Livestock Horse Sale. Cowboys live here. That's the logo. Cowboys live here. This is BLS. Our own Mr. Beef is a little bit lengthier. So I, as a producer, have Mr. Beef, and ours is providing you and your family with high quality, safe, and healthy protein. But these are the things that are repeated over and over. It's like that catchphrase that attracts you and catches your attention right away. I'll tell you, we do have another one at Mr. Beef that people seem to think is really funny, and my mom says it's inappropriate. However, we have Mr. Beef hung for your satisfaction, because we hang our beef for 21 days. It's funny, it catches people's attention, it's a great seller and swag. So sometimes you have to go with what your audience is. Marketing tools. So far today, we have identified who our customers are, what they care about. Right now, like I said, we have that large movement in our country and in a lot of our rural communities for local foods. People actually want to know how their food is grown. People are starting to care more about what goes into their food and what goes into their bodies. And so that's really important when we talk about agribusiness, whether it be you're selling an end product like salsa, or you're selling started plants, or you're selling a calf. People want to know how these things are grown. We've identified where our agribusiness is positioned in the market. Are we one of the big 4 processors? Are we a small local producer? Are we a community garden that is working towards a food or a fruit stand? And we've identified how our products and services uniquely meet our customers' needs and desires, and why they're attracted to it. These are all things that we have to learn in order to make the marketing and social media do the most work for us. So, social media. In today's world, social media is more important than ever, as it is used to create conversations and connections with existing and potential clients. People rely on social media for much of the information they consume, making it a great tool to provide followers with up-to-the-minute glimpses into your native agribusiness. You can create content about your business's work, like videos or images of drying a new batch of jerky or harvesting crops in the field. Does anybody have any social media accounts that you follow that you're like, these guys do a great job. These guys are great at telling their story. They're great at making you want to learn more. They're great at sending you to their website so you can purchase things from them. If you have any social media accounts that you should think that we should check out, please go ahead and put them in the chat. To be honest, am not that great at my social media accounts. I used to be a lot better. It's hard sometimes. And when I say that, it's not so much hard coming up with the content. Most of us all have a cell phone that takes great video and great pictures. It's the sitting down to edit and make sure that I have my logo on it, make sure I have my contact information on it, and making sure that when I post something, I have a little blurb of a story to go along with that, so people can understand what's happening in the image and they can get that buy-in to what my product is and what my business portrays. Do I want images of us doing the exact butchering of the critter? For my followers, no, I don't. They don't want to see those type of things. Do they want to see the cute little calves that the kids are bottle feeding? Absolutely. Do they want to see the cowboy way of the way we do things with the, the branding and the roping and things like that, and how we handle our livestock in a humane manner? Yes, they do. So it's really getting to understand what is clicking with your people. Where are you getting the most where are you getting the most bang for your buck on the images and the videos that you're seeing? Now, if you have a business Facebook account, you actually get to see, like, when people are looking at your posts, how many people have viewed it, how many people have commented on the backside of that. And that's data that you can use to build more of your social media presence through Canva, and there's several others. And Kinsey and Elijah, if you guys know some of the others that companies that you can use to schedule posts, I think that is a huge deal. I personally don't have time between work, kids, the cattle, all the things that we do. I don't have time for every day to sit down and make a post for Facebook that'll go to my Instagram that will do this, this, and this. However, I can dedicate time on a Sunday or a Saturday to schedule my posts throughout the week when I know from the data that I've looked at how many times people are looking at it from 6 p.m. to 9 p.m. How many people have looked at my post from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. When is the best time to post? And what is getting action? Is it my short videos? Is it cute pictures of cattle? Is it pictures of the kids? Is it pictures of William and I working alongside each other? And so really taking that information to build that social media presence is very, very important. So with that being said, there is a number of channels and tools that you can use to create. There are a number of opportunities to do scheduling of posts, to do cross posting. So where you might post on, Instagram, but then it's also going to post on Facebook for you, or vice versa. And so I think it's really important to know how to do that and explore what's going to work for you. There's Facebook, Instagram, Twitter. I still call it Twitter, but I know it is now called X. There's TikTok, Reels, YouTube. If whatever you're selling is for younger, that 10 to 18 age group, Snapchat. Oh, thank you, Elijah. Elijah just posted the Adobe Express for Marketers link. And so go ahead and save that, guys, and we'll send out these links in an email following up. But the tools that we have that we use at a Keep Ton here are Canva, Adobe, and really any photo editing software. You can find photo editors online for free. Be aware on that if you do find them, make sure they're a safe source, of course. But some of the ones that we look at or that are a part of Akiptan, we have Sakari Farms. I don't know if anybody's heard of that, but Sakari Farms is one of our operations that we use or that we provide capital for. Oh, perfect. Samantha knows. Awesome. And then there's the Morning Light Kombucha. Also, things that come to mind when we talk about people to follow. The Peterson brothers, Peterson Bros. They do funny, comical, educational ranch type videos. One of the, we follow Dale Brisby. As far as ranch and rodeo world, he does a lot of education, a lot of knowledge building in that world. So does anybody have any content creative tools for content creation that you guys use that I haven't mentioned that you might recommend? Because I know there's others out there. So if you do, drop them in the chat so others can explore them as well. One of the things I did want to add on this and mistakes that I've made, I'd like you to learn from the mistakes that I've made, you guys. Each one of these channels has different dimensions. So when you're building a advertisement, you're going to have to adjust for the different dimensions, because if you build it for Facebook, it's not the same as what it needs to be for Instagram. It's not the same as what it needs to be for Twitter. So keep that in mind as you build those. I do know that Canva has a really cool option where you basically can just click and it'll format your sheet that you're creating into whatever dimension that Facebook post is or an Instagram post, and then you can adjust accordingly. So just be aware of that as you guys move forward through this. I talked a little bit about posting schedule. I do really think scheduling your posts is a great opportunity, especially as we get busy. Right now in the ranching world, it's a busy time for us. Everybody's branding. We're trying to get critters kicked out to pasture. Everybody's fencing and putting bulls out. So sometimes scheduling those posts is essential. You want to be very consecutive. Make a goal to post once a day. Make a goal to post once every 2 days. When you have those goals and can set your schedule, I feel like we're a little bit more accountable to our marketing and social media for our businesses. Social media is essentially, it can be free marketing. That being said, there is some paid options within different businesses, like the Facebook, TikTok, but you can get a lot of bang for your buck just out of the free advertising style. I would also recommend figuring out what are your best times of day for interaction. When do you have the most time? When do you see the most feedback from people? And also resharing. It does not hurt at all to ask your family and friends, shoot them a quick message, say, hey, can you repost this for me? Or reposting it in groups that have similar interests to what you are selling or your lifestyle, and get the word out there to build your network. What needs to be on your graphics? You need to have the who, what, where, and your contact information. That is what absolutely on every graphic you need to have. You need to have a logo. You need to have your contact information, and you need to tell them what you're doing and where you're doing it. This is a great one. Don's Delight's going to be part of the farmers market. It's going to be June 1st through September 30th, 3 to 6 daily, which is a heavy schedule for a farmers market. But regardless, it's got the who, what, when, how to contact, how to get a hold of me. The QR codes are a huge deal right now. In Canva, you can build your own QR code. It's a simple click of a button. And people use those constantly. I catch myself using them more and more now that I know how to use them. And so This is what absolutely has to be on your graphics. That way people know how to get a hold of you, when to get a hold of you. So as a quick recap, we'll just go over kind of what we talked about. We went through marketing, why it's important to have a marketing plan, why it's important to talk about marketing and write those things down. Creating and growing your brand. Create that sheet that has your fonts, your colors, your logo, your style. What does that say about you? Define who your audience is and who you're focusing on. When you define that, that is subject to change, depending on how your brand grows. And telling your story on social media. How do you want to portray your business? How do you want to portray yourself? With Native Agribusinesses especially, I mean, this hits home. These are our families. They're family businesses, they're family operations, in so many ways. And so how do we want to tell our story and share who we are on social media? And then we gave you some of the marketing tools to do that. I think that's a good recap of where we've been, where social media is going to be taking us. I encourage you guys, if you have questions about marketing, feel free to send me a message. I will do my best to find answers or to help you. One of the things that we talk about at Agribusiness, not only are we a CDFI that is able to help with loans, but the education portion is really huge because your success is our success. And if we can help you find greater success through marketing, let's do it. I'm not the marketing expert, but we know marketing experts in our fields, and we can definitely help work together on that. So that being said, as we get ready to kind of close out our webinar here, I want to discuss just a few things that I think are really important to Agribusiness and to you guys as Native American agricultural producers. In 2022, we had a full market study done. And during that market study, we found that there is $43 billion of unmet need for Native Americans. That's just in agriculture, 43 billion. And we're fortunate enough that we get to be part of that solution. And we're continuing to grow and continuing to strive to find funding consistently, so we can help all of our producers. We discovered that most producers want to grow their operation either in volume or through diversification. We found out that 43% are wanting more knowledge on land issues that we have in Native country. And we discovered that 75% have off-farm income. And I say, I don't want to say that is one of the biggest takeaways for me, but it is a huge takeaway for me because farming and ranching is a full-time job in and of itself. You guys know that. And 75% of our producers in Native country have an off-farm income to support their needs. We at Agribusiness want to be part of the solution so that when we talk about farmers and ranchers and agricultural producers, we can say that is their whole business. That's where they get to focus their time on. We feel like that is incredibly important. Elijah just put into our chat, you guys, more of the market study. Our market study took place over a year and took an entire year to do, and then the findings just came out late last year. We have 51% of Native producers expressed a need for additional training and technical assistance with relation to sustainability, climate change, and conservation planning. One of the things that we are doing to help with that, and so just be aware that these things are available, and I'm going to go through some more slides to get this information into your hands. We offer one-on-one work with our clients to build your financial knowledge and business planning. So if anybody is interested in that, reach out, get a hold of us, we can help. And it says that half of our portfolio wants to better their practices within agriculture. When we talk about sustainability, climate change, conservation, this is so important to Indian country. And so we are here to help. There is more programs that are going to be coming out later this year. So be aware of that. Another one is advocacy on the Hill. That was a huge thing in our market study, that Native producers felt like they wanted to make sure their voices are heard. And so we are attending and doing our best to be there to push through to get your voices heard. 48% felt the overall loan process across the board, Farm Service Agency, banks, CDFIs alike, could be improved. And so what we've done is at Akitan, we have put a 1-to-1 ratio. So when we have a loan that comes in, it is dedicated to a loan officer. And so you will be talking with that loan officer to help get things done. And the biggest one down here for me right now, because I get to run this grant, 27% of participants in the study have a succession plan. That means that almost 75% of us Native producers don't have a succession plan, wills, estate plans, transition plans. Right now, until June 26th, guys, write this down, June 26th, we have a grant out there. It's for Akipton clients. So you need to be a current Akipton client with a loan and your paperwork all up to date. But we do have a succession planning grant where we can help you to get that stuff established. Now, this is for your information, stuff that is going to be coming out. If you have not signed up for our newsletter, please do, because there are so many opportunities for our small and mid-sized agricultural operations that are coming down the pike. I don't want you to miss out on anything. Right now, we have the North Central USDA Regional Food Business Center. They are helping to provide technical assistance to create new value chain connections. With that being said, this specifically is for Minnesota, North Dakota, South Dakota. I know we have others on the call. You all have a regional food business center somewhere in your area. I would encourage you to hit up the USDA website, look up Regional Food Business Center, and find out where it's at. There are programs coming down. There's potential grants, low income or low interest loans. Check those out. The next is the Intertribal Ag Council, also has a food business center. If you're not familiar with Intertribal Agricultural Council, please check out their website. They do some really neat things, and they will also be having monies come down that are available. Elijah threw those into the chat for you guys, so they're just a simple link and a quick click. And so feel free to check both of those out. As far as our youth programs, I always like to run through this because I think our youth are, they're essential to our next stages of agriculture. And so we really do our best here at Akipton to support them. We have the Ochina Scholarship that just closed, but we award anywhere from $1,000 to $5,000 scholarships each year. It opens in January. We close it in April, and we award in May. So if you have upcoming seniors that are going to be entering the native agricultural industry, we encourage you guys to have them apply for next year. So think of our seniors this year. That being said, when I say native agricultural industry, I mean everything. We need people who are studying statistics so we can have the data that we need to substantiate why we do what we do. We need farmers, we need mechanics, we need people who are going to run CDFIs long after I'm gone that are going to help our native farmers. So think wide and big when we talk about that scholarship. We also have a summer youth internship, which is how we got Elijah and Kinsey here with us. Interns are going to gain hands-on experience working within our CDFI as well as other native agricultural companies. That's always in the spring of the year. And then this is a really cool one. This is a Native Youth Business Plan Contest. Students ages 16 to 18 who are interested in native ag. We help to develop a business plan And then we have a competition on it. And so you can meet with us one-on-one. We do direct technical assistance to help students build their business plan. And then they can enter it to the contest. There's 3 cash prizes that are awarded up to $1,500. So I tell everybody, I'm like, that's your computer for the next part of your life paid for right there. So definitely check those out. We have the curriculums, financial management guide specifically for cattle ranchers. We have introducing native agriculture for young entrepreneurs. And then we also have our financial management guide for native agribusinesses, and that's coming soon. I'm hoping, fingers crossed, it's going to the printer in the next week. So we'll be able to get that over to you guys. We also have booklets that can help you keep your operations organized. We have a succession plan booklet that correlates with our succession planning grant, the UNEA grant. So if you're interested in making those initial plans on what's going to happen transition-wise when you're ready to retire, or if anything should happen to you, check out that succession guide. The rancher record keeping book is primarily for livestock ranchers. And it has everything in it from when you're out there feeding to vaccination schedules, information on how much you're feeding, where you're feeding, your salt and mineral intake, pasture rotations. We also have those 2 guides in hand as well as the curriculums. And if you're anything like me, I like to have things in my hand. So if you want those, send us an email and we will get those sent out to you so you have a physical copy. The next webinar that we have coming up is going to be talking about diversifying your products in agribusiness. It's going to be July 23rd at noon. Feel free to scan that code on the sheet of paper, or on the computer screen there. Sorry, guys. And you can get registered for that. It will be an interesting discussion. I believe we are going to try and have some ideas on how you can diversify, who to speak with, and plans for that. And last but not least, we have a free financial planning information on our website for all of you that might need anything with regards to financial planning. Get a hold of us. We are here to absolutely be the best help that we can. And I'm going to take a breath. Whew. We have our e-newsletter. This is a newsletter that will come out. It will have everything that is going on with Agribusiness. We will also keep you apprised and updated of any and all funding opportunities and information on climate smart commodities coming up. So please go ahead and sign up for our e-newsletter. Drop your email on there, and that way we can get you in our system to make sure you're aware of everything that we have going on. I just want to thank you all for attending our webinar today on social media and marketing, and hope that we get to see you all on the 23rd at our next webinar. Thank you so much.